Hello, algebra students. We're going to finish up section 1, 2, properties of real numbers. In this video, we are focusing on the second learning target, which is we're going to use the properties of real numbers. Okay, right here, to evaluate expressions. So let's look at the properties. What are the properties of real numbers? So I want you to go ahead and pause the video and write these down, please. Alright, so the commutative property is where we have a plus b is the same as b plus a. So I think an example would be 3 plus 5. Isn't that the same as 5 plus 3? And you can write down your own example for multiplication. Maybe 3 times 5 is the same as 5 times 3. Associative, how I remember associative is the parentheses change or they move. So we can go over here. So like 2 times 3, if I did that first and then I took that times 4, is that going to be the same as if I were to take 3 times 4 and then times it by 2? Order of operations. Yeah, you're going to get 24 each time. The identity property for addition is adding 0. So we're adding 0. The identity property for multiplication is timesing by 1. The inverse is adding the opposite, and you can do it either way. You can flip it around, it'll still be the same, but you have to add that opposite to get 0. And then the inverse for the multiplication is, the multiplicative inverse is 1. How are you going to get 1? What do you have to multiply by? Well, do you remember that R word from, I think you used it in geometry too. This is the reciprocal. Okay, reciprocal. So you're multiplying by the reciprocal to get 1. Closure, meaning if you add two numbers, you're going to get a real number. Or if you add two real numbers, you're going to get a real number. If you multiply two real numbers, you're going to get a real number. And then we have the distributive property, where we distribute what's on the outside of the parentheses. Okay, I like to call that my rainbows. So there's your properties. So let's name the property that we have here. Name the property illustrated on this with this example. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do this first example. If you said the associative property, you are correct. It is the associative property of, is this addition or multiplication? Right, it's of multiplication. Okay, and make sure you don't abbreviate associative. Okay, that can get you into trouble. So the second example, why don't you go ahead and pause the video and try the second example. All right, the additive inverse, we want to get 0. So what do we have to add to a negative 5/8 to get 0? That's right, we have to add a positive 5/8. So that would be our answer for the additive inverse. Now what about the multiplicative inverse? It's going to be negative 5/8. What do we have to times by to get a positive 1? Multiply by the reciprocal, 8 over 5, and a negative times negative is a positive, so it's going to be a negative 8 over 5. All right, very good. We're using our properties. That's great. The last one, we're actually going to put these properties into place. We're going to use the distributive property to go ahead and simplify the expression. So go ahead, pause the video, write this down, see what you come up with. And then we're going to combine like terms. (26x) 3y minus 35y, don't forget that negative there, and we're going to, it'll be a negative 32y. All right. That's all I have for you with the properties. Come with questions tomorrow if you have any. Let me know. And we'll see you later.